go, of course, and just live stream, right? What? I don't know who you are. Goodbye. God, right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. You know what it is? It's because we got this stupid fucking election coming up here in North Carolina with this Michael Whatley nonsense. Every fucking ad on YouTube is Michael Whatley, Michael Whatley, Michael Whatley. It's like, God, enough. Jesus, even on my home phone, I just bought a brand new caller ID blocking box to prevent these phone calls. I mean, at least with Incogni, they go out of their way to delete your public data, which 400 websites now have been forced to delete my personal information. I had to submit my driver's license to Google themselves to have more of my personal information taken down. So I'm working on that currently through Incogni because of all this bullshit that's been going on. You know, I'm really fighting to reclaim what's rightfully mine, and that's my name and my reputation. But the phone calls from these politicians lately, especially with this thing that's going on with this Michael Whatley stuff here in North Carolina, every advertisement on YouTube, that's all you see. Michael Whatley, and whoever's running against him. Like, I give less than a shit about these elections and these politicians. Like, I'm done. I know sometimes my political values and beliefs are sprinkled throughout my YouTube channel here sometimes, but it's every video on every channel on every subject. The first thing that comes out is Michael Whatley. Hurricane Helene, whatever the fuck it was called. It's like non-stop bombardment of like political shit. It's like, give us a break already. These people don't do anything for us. Even Trump, in a lot of ways, he doesn't really do anything for us. Get rid of these tariffs. Where's the stimulus check he promised? Bullshit. But anyway, I got eBay orders to process. I'm really hoping to kind of like get away for a little bit today. Thank you to my eBay customers. This last 24 to 48 hours has been pretty productive. A lot of you who are my eBay customers, if you're viewers of the channel, have been scooping up those Topps Black cards that I ripped here on the channel. Both of the Shohei Ohtanis from the Topps Black, which I both of them sold out within like 48 to 72 hours of me listing these two. They sold out. So one of them I put up for auction. I think it came out to like $30. So I took the second one and listed it as a buy it now. Within a couple hours, it's sold just like that. So anything with Shohei Ohtani is bound to sell. So, but again, thank you everybody for continuing to support the channel and my eBay store. Shameless eBay incoming. If you want to support the channel, hit that like button. Always hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe. Check out my eBay store, the Carolina Collector 001, and if you want to make a small donation to the channel, check out my coffee link. Both of the links to my eBay store and my coffee are in every description box of every video, live stream, and short that I do here on YouTube, including this one. So if you click on the links down below, it'll take you right to my eBay store and the coffee link. So but anyway, everything else, I'm sure a lot of you probably want to know what else is going on. Well, there's not much really to talk about. Today is Friday. I have supplies coming in today. I failed to mention that I ended up getting another 1,000 of these. If you're eBay customers, you'll recognize what these are right away. And then another roll of fragile stickers showed up. I'm expecting my tamper-proof labels to show up today. So we'll see what happens. I'm still waiting to see if this girl and I are going to meet up today. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. After recent events, unfortunately, I've had to become the ultimate cynic. And I really don't want to get myself too happy because I know how things work with me sometimes. I have that really bad luck. It's a real shame to be so cynical like that, but such is life. You know, she messaged me today. You know, she went out to do some karaoke thing where she lives with a couple of her friends. So, you know, she's a grown woman. I can't tell her what to do. I mean, we're not really technically in a relationship yet. I don't even want to call it that yet. She did message me this morning. She's got some stuff she's got to do during the day. You know, she's going to see her dad for a little bit, which is not all that far away from where she lives. I saw him on camera, so it's not like she's lying or anything. But, you know, if any of you have been watching the channel even lately, you know what's been happening. And my cynical brain, unfortunately, has taught me to exercise caution with everyone and everything now. It's like ridiculous. You know, I'm getting emails now. Well, that phone call I got in the beginning of the live stream is another example of the aggressive nature of these political parties, whether Democrat or Republican. They call. I just installed a brand new caller ID box for my home phone, and already it's filtering out all this crap. My mailbox is being inundated with freaking GOP and political trash that you would line your bird cage with. And that phone call that I just got right there is another example of it. But anyway, yeah, I've been in contact with Google about certain things. I had to provide my new driver's license because I ended up getting the real ID driver's license last year when I had to go to New York to my father's funeral. So Google themselves requested that. And that's a direct result of, not sponsored by the way, the company I signed up for, what is that, Incogni, to have my personal data removed. So it's just, yeah, I actually got a pretty big order. I mean, I don't want to say big, but dollar-wise, it's a pretty significant order. Yeah, the two Shohei Ohtanis from Topps Chrome Black that I pulled on the channel, they both sold out. And those Topps Black cards are selling like hotcakes over at my eBay store, which is shocking. But what I find to be difficult is that I don't think that eBay's scanning tool is up to date, because every single one of those Topps Black cards that I scanned into their scanner doesn't register. So the ones I really wasn't sure about, I listed them as auctions. That's what happened with the Shohei Ohtani, because the prices on eBay are all over the place, and I'm not going to fuck my customers over like that. So I started the auction for the first card at $20, and then, you know, saw where the room stood and get the temperature of the room, and it ended up selling for like $30. So the second one that I had, I listed it as a buy it now for $30, and somebody scooped it up just like that. So am I undercutting myself? I don't know. But you know what? It's sold, and that's what's important. So that's the first one right there I just packed up. The second one is right here. That's the second one that I pulled on camera. It sold instantly when I listed it last night. So, yeah, I'm just trying to, and again, you know, I don't want to get too happy. You know, I'm supposed to meet this girl tonight. We did message each other this morning. Right now, I'm kind of just taking things step by step and little by little. I'm trying not to push myself as hard as I was over the past several weeks. Like many of you know, I was going full steam ahead with a lot of stuff, especially what happened recently. And if you watched my live stream yesterday, you know, I offered an apology to everybody, and I'll repeat that again, because a lot of you saw through this woman what she was trying to fucking do, and I didn't listen. You know, and I publicly admit that I'm a gullible idiot that fell for a fucking sob story for somebody that's probably on the fucking run trying to kidnap their son from the father. And of course, on WhatsApp, I don't see her avatar anymore, so I'm going to assume she blocked me after I put her in her place, as I threatened to fucking report her to ICE if she messaged me again. And that's not a veiled threat. ICE is not that far from here, as a matter of fact. It's right by Top Golf where I live here in the middle of Charlotte, and I've been to their facility already. The FBI office, I believe, is right around where the ICE facility is, or what they call Department of Homeland Security. So, and I warned her, if she messages me again, I'm passing on her info and she's going to be reported, and that's that. I had enough playing games with bullshit like this anymore. That's why with this woman, as happy as I sounded, we'll see if we get together today. I don't know. Like I said, she went out last night with all of her friends. And women and cocktails, when you get groups of women together and they're drinking those girly drinks in those goblets. And the one little video she sent me, you know, saying hi to me, she had like one of these giant goblets with like some peach or banana looking stuff. I don't know what the hell it was she was drinking. And then she messaged me saying I'm burnt out. I'm like, yeah, you probably drank too much last night. Which she's entitled to. Listen, she's a grown woman. We're the same age. She breaks her ass all day. You know what I mean? I can't really tell her what to do with herself. I don't know her that way anyway. And I don't want to be one of those overbearing guys that's like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. Because what do? When I want to get away, I'll load up my cooler, go find a quiet spot under a tree someplace. I'll bring one of my 2 Bluetooth speakers with me and just sit there under a tree someplace and just mind my business and just take time to myself. I'd rather do that than go to a bar any day. But, you know, if that's what makes her happy, I'm not going to be the one to cross her path. I don't know her well enough like that. So, how do I do it? I don't know. Humble brag. It's the weight loss, man. It's the weight loss. It's the better care of myself. Certain women are attracted to guys that take care of themselves. This is now what, 3 in the past 3 years. But this one, like I said, was by accident. So, I know who this is, but you changed your name. I was wondering what happened to you. The current one. If I wanted to if I had to, if I was at a game show and I had to answer that question, I would say I'll take door number 3. Because this girl is, I mean, this woman, I should say, is very mature. You know, she's on the verge of breaking away from her kids because they're of age. You know, at least she was forthcoming with me, and, you know, unlike the other two, you know, at least she told me what's going on with herself, which I appreciate. So right now, it's just a waiting game. You know, I sent her a photo of all these eBay orders that I got. I said, listen, I'm going to be a little bit busy, you know, until probably early afternoon. You know, you do what you got to do. There's no rush, because she lives all the way up in Mooresville. You know, and that's not especially on a fucking Friday night, that's not an easy drive, because that's when all these young UNC and college dicks and Clemson dicks and everybody else, they all go into what we call Uptown Charlotte or Center City. So, yeah, listen, I'm just reading the chat. I kind of knew that when I saw the name change, which is understandable. So, no biggie from my point of view, and you don't need to explain. I know who you are, so no need to explain. No need to explain. You're always welcome on this channel. But, you know, like I said, we'll see what happens later today. I don't want to get my hopes up until I know for sure what she wants to do. I'm not going to be that guy. These new boxes, by the way, the 7x5x1s, these are actually true 7x5x1s. The other ones I was using were 7x4x1, but they cost the same shipping wise anyway. So, you know, especially when it comes to customers that are ordering like 10 or 12 cards at one point, I can charge them ground shipping and save them a couple bucks on shipping, which is cool. So I like these a lot better. I have a whole case of these that I ordered. So there's the 2 Shohei Ohtanis. This customer here, again, more Topps Black cards sold. These things seem to be really popular. I kind of regret that I didn't buy any more of these, but I'm not going to shell out another $400 for baseball cards. That's done. But yeah, these Topps Black cards, man, they've been selling like hotcakes over at my eBay store. I had to refund this particular customer. The shipping came out to $1.32, and they paid like $2.24, I think. I think I had to refund them like 80 cents or something like that. It was like close to that. So many of you know that, you know, if I'm able to combine your shipping together, I'll dish out a refund. So I owe this particular customer, I think, 80 cents. So I refunded the customer already. I have one more straggler, but I do have 2 auctions. And again, shameless e-beg for those who are just joining. I did do another listing of cards over the past couple days. I've been trying to push myself to kind of like forget about this recent dumpster fire that happened. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm still having a bit of anxiety over the whole shit because, you know, I've never had anything like this happen to me before. It's just so fucked up. You know what it is? I'm one of those guys that's like analytical. And I have like this tendency of wanting to know and wanting answers and why, and all that kind of stuff. But this one really is fucking with my mind, because you're talking about using a child, which by definition, I did a little homework on this. It's called parental alienation. When you're literally putting a child in the middle of the fucking firing squad. And you have to bear with me, folks. Like I said, I still got a little bit of that anxiety in me. If you can't tell, if I feel like I'm stuttering or something like that, that's why. Forgive me for that. This medication that I'm taking now, it's got me shaking like a leaf. It's like I had 100 cups of coffee. I shouldn't even be drinking that Red Bull, by the way. Lesson learned, once again, through trial and error. because it's supposed to be like I forgot what it's called. It's supposed to like make you feel like a little bit more energetic and get you out of that slump. But I can already see it's going to be something I'm going to have to take the CVS and just put it in the fucking medication box and walk away, because I don't like feeling like this. I feel like I have the chills. I don't know if that makes any sense. If it would have worked out and that woman could have been parent to a child that little, I am 50 and couldn't do it again. Well, that's the trick, is because of the little boy. I should have, WhatsApp will not allow you to take screen captures anymore. Unfortunately, I wish I was able to do that, unless I actually downloaded another app that would allow you to do such a thing, because you can actually download apps that will allow you to record things and screen capture things. And what was the first thing that she put in that screen capture? And if you were here in the chat yesterday, I was sitting with my neighbors having a couple beers, and we were eating freaking beef jerky, and all that. It was a lot of fun. I needed a break yesterday, and they were so nice and so sweet to have me over at their home, and I showed them the avatar. It was her son with the fucking car seat that I bought. Imagine, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, if I would have followed through with that, where I'd be right now financially. If it's true, because like I said, I ran a background check on the phone number that I have for her, and it's from fucking Georgia, the area code, but it won't give me any information. It's an unlisted cell phone number, so that tells me one of two things. One, the phone, because a lot of people have unlisted phone numbers, you can request that sort of thing, I think. But most likely, it's probably one of those fucking apps. And when I did a deep dive online, and you look at like Reddit and stuff like that, what are the names of the companies? Like, see, I'm not good with this sort of thing. I want to say, the fuck is the name of them apps? There's a name for one or two of them. I can't remember. But they're like those spoof phone call apps or something like that. Oh, one of them is called, I think, Text Now or Text Free or some shit. My story is very complicated because of the mother of my two kids. She chose to falsely accuse me of going to comic book conventions to stare at women's asses. She falsely accused me of having sex with a woman who has a NYPD fiance who's a good friend of mine. And there was never any proof or evidence of that. Who actually helps to put together a lot of charity events and stuff like that. Who also has a mutual friend of mine who runs these conventions. And her family, it basically alienated my father, alienated me, alienated my mother and my sister and my brother and my entire family. Because when we used to have family get-togethers, my mother would have my son in her hand, and then the father would just come and snatch the fucking... No, I can't catch a break. And people always want to say it's me. No, it's not. And it's awful. It's awful. It's really awful. She falsely accused me of, when I was in New York City, my reputation... Now, again, I have to say this to balance the scale here, because I'm not going to pretend that I was an angel either. Listen, I used to drink way more than I used to. Well, I mean, I used to drink a lot more than I do now, I should say. A lot. I'm not going to pretend. I used to drink a lot, and considerably more than what I do now. I did, for a time before I got all fucked up from 9/11. I was seeing pain management and getting pain therapy for my back. And for a time, I got hopelessly addicted to Percocets and Vicodin and all that kind of thing, and I was abusing them. And I did 6 months of outpatient successfully, and I haven't touched that stuff since. Like, I have a big stigma against that sort of thing. That's why when I see people begging out in the street with cardboard signs, I don't feel sorry for any of them. Because what are they doing for the most part, especially here in the Carolinas, is that they're on that fentanyl shit. And I don't feel sorry for anybody that defaults to drug addiction. I mean, I have my beers once in a while, but if you were to look at me, and if I were to show you photos of myself with my big fat face, big fat swollen beer belly, cholesterol was through the roof, I was like 300 pounds at one time, you probably wouldn't even recognize me. And I turned all that stuff around. And I never got 1 ounce of credit for it from anyone, except maybe my parents and my family and only my closest, dearest friends. Everyone else threw me under the bus. You know, I got into all of those charity groups in New York, like the 501st Legion and Empire Saber Guild and all that sort of thing, to try to give myself some sort of identity again, because my entire world was construction. My dad wanted me to be a police officer, and it didn't happen. I took the test when I was 16 years old, and unfortunately at that time the NYPD merged, and I think I scored like 103 on the test, because you get 5 residency points when you take the test, and I passed successfully for the housing authority. But then once all the departments merged, my list got thrown out. So unfortunately, my dad, he pushed me to get into the union. He called up one day. I was still, kind of like a good-for-nothing layabout young guy who didn't give a shit about anything. He's like, I don't care what you do, what you say. You come to this so-and-so job site, and this was in Queens, by the way. And I think this was after the 3 plumbing unions merged. He was working in what used to be considered Plumbers Local 1 territory, the original Plumbers Local 1. My father was a Local 2 plumber. And of course, his union was the highest as far as prevailing wage is concerned. And he had me go to work with him. And then eventually I got in the union because of that. And quite frankly, if it wasn't for him, I'd have nothing today. But as a result of that, once I lost that after 13 years because of 9/11, my final day was March 31st, 2011. Even when I was working, because I couldn't keep up with it no more. Plumbing is not an easy job. Let me tell you, what you see on TV with guys in plungers and Roto-Rooter and all that stuff, I'm talking about brand new, the fly is open, I just realized. Sorry about that. You can clip that one. Oh shit, I didn't even realize that until now. Whoops. See, I can make fun of myself. But anyway, yeah, it just, I was taking painkillers because I couldn't keep up with the gang of guys that I'd be working with on these big union construction sites and things like that. I couldn't carry big buckets of tools. I couldn't carry jackhammers because sometimes you had to carry big plumbing equipment like core bore machines and drills to drill hangers. The piping itself sometimes would be big pipe that would take 2 or 3 guys to carry sometimes. I mean, it was god awful. I couldn't carry fucking buckets up and down steps. I'd collapse on myself. Guys would literally pick me up and lay me down on piles of sheetrock because my back was so fucking bad. And then that's when I started getting that burning in my chest. And then lo and behold, once the doctors put 2 and 2 together, it's because you got exposed to all that stuff for the small time that you were down at that trade center. Couple that on top of all of the physical abuse that your body goes through working on heavy construction work like that. The body was not designed for that sort of thing. My dad, to the day he died, he had spurs in his neck, in his spine. So, and that's when I started getting hooked on taking painkillers and Vicodin and Percocet and all that stuff. you know, and it was scary after a while because I went cold turkey. I'll never forget the day I went cold turkey. This is before the mother of my kids and myself moved in together. I called. Well, see, there you go. I don't know why. I wish I did. I have no idea. But to make a long story short, I went cold turkey, put myself into a 6-month outpatient 3 times a week. And let me tell you, those facilities, they're fucking, if you have any kind of semblance of intelligence, just by the look of things, there's give me 1 second, folks. I'm sorry. Oh. Guys, don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. I have to answer this one. Come on. It's not letting me. Why? I'll be right back, guys. Like I said, I got to answer this one. Come on. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. My apologies. That was her. It's still a 50-50 shot. We may or may not see each other today. So, she's doing well, which is good. That's why she messaged me. She's like, you know, if anything, you know, that sort of thing. So, and I appreciate that. I'm still waiting for the mailman. I'm waiting for I got one more after this order, I got one more tamper-proof label, and then I'm going to have to temporarily shut down if that happens. But to answer this comment here, I don't know. I don't know where this obsession with me started. I don't know. We used to be part of the same lodge. But he's always had this reputation, even when I was a Mason, when I went through all that fancy schmancy handshakes and this thing and all that bullshit. He was always starting fucking problems. To a point where, like, I actually stood up for him in one of the Masonic private Facebook pages because he was starting arguments with people online, trying to tell people how they should and should not live their lives. That's nobody's place to do. You want to criticize people, but he has this habit of, and he still does it to this day, of telling people what they should go do with themselves. And if they don't, he's going to come after them. And that's what he's been doing for years and years and years. Everybody has to be like him. Well, guess what? He's not God. He's not Jesus. He doesn't walk on water. And there are things in life I don't like. There are ideologies I don't believe in that I don't have to support. Like right now, they're still attacking Jackson Dart. I'm wearing Jackson Dart's jersey because not only am I a New York Giants fan, Jackson Dart has every right to support President Trump and had every right to introduce him recently. And people are still having a shit fit over that. But then meanwhile, it's okay for all of these pro-black Marxist, socialist, communist assholes who are welfare babies to take a knee for Colin Kaepernick, right? That's okay. But a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy like Jackson Dart, who supports President Trump, all of a sudden now is a bad guy. Get the fuck out of here. If Colin Kaepernick can stir up all that shit taking a knee, then Jackson Dart can celebrate President Trump. But I don't understand why. I don't know. You asked a question that I wish I had an answer for. I don't know. This started on Facebook with two fake profiles that I still have the copies of in my boxes of paperwork that involve all this shit. That they started this shit first. I don't know why this obsession with me continues to go on. It doesn't make any sense. There's no fucking reason for it. There is no... Everyone who I've talked to about this, and I mean everyone, including my local police department here, they don't know what to make of it. Especially people here, they're very old school and very old fashioned. They've never seen anything like this before. And with the things that have happened to me, with like what happened with this fucking woman, having me arrested for no reason, that I had a fight to regain and reclaim my name and my identity. And what happened over here where people fucking trespassing, filing a fake police report, that I had to defend myself with that too. And they cherry pick every single little fucking thing because they don't like me. I don't know if it's because I get women. I don't know if it's because I got all that 9/11 money. I don't know if it's because my name was in the newspapers back in New York City. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. It's my stress going up again. So I don't want to talk about this no more. My anxiety level goes through the roof talking about this shit. I don't know. I have no answers for you when it comes to that. I don't know where this obsession comes from. And it's not fair to me. I don't deserve this shit. It's been going on for well over 10 years now. I have a life that I want to live. I live it a certain way. And I just want to be left alone. I want to talk, and that's what's so frustrating. I'm looking at a pile of stuff that's sitting on my floor that, it makes me happy to take the time to talk about this stuff and have a little bit of innocent fun talking about sneakers and jerseys and things like that. And it's fucking miserable. Everything is miserable. And it doesn't have to be like that. I earned my right to do what the fuck I want, when I want, how I want. And these people, it's like Tom McDonald would say. If anybody listens to Tom McDonald, it's like, when you reach a certain point, the bullseye gets bigger and bigger on your back. It is sad. Yes, I agree with you. It is sad. Just leave it alone. Go away and leave it alone. But they crossed the line resurrecting my father. They crossed the line resurrecting my grandfather. They attacked my mother. Then the most disgusting thing is they tracked down my ex-girlfriend's fucking YouTube channel. And it's not the first time they've done something like that. This obsession with me, I don't understand where it comes from. I wish I knew. I have no answers. This has been going on for well over a decade already, and I have no idea why. She can't because she's here illegally. Herself, I have her passport here. Or a copy of her passport, I should say, which she very foolishly let me see. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. On that particular subject, do I have to be a de facto police officer and now start asking people for driver's licenses? That's why when all them sorry sacks of shit were attacking me in my previous live stream, who the fuck are they to cast judgment on me? Maybe if I met these people, I should ask them, hey, let me see your mom's driver's license. Let me see your next door neighbor. You got a license for your dog? This is what we're coming to these days, where people are making shit up just to fuck with somebody, and it's fucking sad and pathetic. They must be getting ready to open up the pool if it's not open already. I've been watching activity over there. Caught the side of my eye earlier. It was supposed to have opened up on Memorial Day, but whatever. It's disgusting. Why do you have guys that are almost fucking 60 years old, and they're in their mid 50s and fucking early 60s, and this is what you do? I have my life. This path was chosen for me. No, because what's going to end up happening is, and I'm keeping my word on this one, when I go to New York, I'm going to show up when they least expect it. I want them to say this shit in front of my face. My brother, certain things have been put into place. The only one that can stop it from happening is my mother. Maybe my sister. My brother-in-law, who's a military police officer, wants a piece of this. I don't want to kiss and tell. I appreciate the comment though. I'm not going to kiss and tell. Well, like I said, this other woman that hopefully, who I was just messaging right now, when she sent me this on WhatsApp, we'll see what happens today. I definitely want to take a walk. I would normally, well, now that I got my car working again, I'm probably just going to walk these to the post office because I still feel like this from this new medication I'm taking. I don't like how it feels. I've got to walk this shit out of me, and I'm probably going to flush myself out. I don't like this nervous feeling that it gives me. I could feel it in my teeth, like my teeth are chattering. I don't like that. But we'll see. We'll see how this works out today. Like the new girl, she messaged me just now. It's still early yet. I mean, it's only 20 after 12. I mean, you got the whole weekend to look forward to. So even if we don't see each other today, I kind of have some backup plans for myself that I'm probably just going to go find a quiet, shady spot, load up the cooler, and do my tailgate thing. I've been trying to get myself out of here, in small spurts, just to give myself some fresh air. I mean, I love my patio. I love my private area, my private space, but it reaches a point where, like, you have to go touch grass and get the fuck out and get away from all of this stuff. I do appreciate my friends and neighbors lately who have really, and God bless you folks. I know some of you are probably watching this right now. The maintenance guys, everybody here. I mean, this is tough. It's very tough. It's very tough. It's a very tough deal. Yeah, I'm still networking with my family back in New York. I've been saying this for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, but all this bullshit keeps happening. I really need to get my ass up to New York. I think for Father's Day, my family's planning on going to see my dad's burial site. I was kind of hoping to get up there for that, but with all this random shit that's been happening, I just don't know. I don't know. I mean, my family understands it because don't forget, I'm 750 miles approximately from New York City. So it's not easy for me to just go. A lot of it depends on the airline I take, the ticket prices, the day, the time, like all of that factors in. Whether or not I can get my brother-in-law or even my brother or my sister to pick me up from the airport like they did the last time when my father died. And New York is fucking expensive, man. I'll be honest with you. My head exploded. It was like, I think a night before I had to come back to New York. My sister has like the Super Walmart by her, and I wanted to buy like 2 sugar-free Red Bulls for the next morning so I can get myself energized because I had a super early flight to come back into Charlotte. They wouldn't give me a plastic bag. I'm like, ma'am, excuse me, I grew up in New York. I haven't been here for a while. Are you telling me that you don't give out plastic bags? They're like, no, it's like an extra 50 cents per bag. I'm like, fuck you, give me, and I stuff them in my pocket and I storm out of there laughing. And I clearly remember myself turning around. It's no wonder I left New York. You people are fucking pathetic. You really think a plastic bag is going to stop the earth from getting hit by a comet? or volcanoes springing up in the middle of Central Park. Get the fuck out of here. I couldn't believe that, by the way. Little side story for you folks for Friday. I couldn't believe that. 50 cents a bag, a plastic bag. The fuck out of here. So when I got back to my sister's house, I'm looking at her. The kids were asleep. I'm like, sis, can I ask you a question? Why didn't you warn me about this sort of thing? You know how I am politically, right? And she's like, I forgot to tell you. That's right. You got to bring your own bags here in New York now. They started that shit, years ago. I'm like, no fucking way. And then my sister's like, sit on the couch, big boy. I'm going to show you something. She goes into the closet there in the living room, and she's got a big crate filled with grandma bags. I couldn't believe it. Grandma bags. You see, I could see shit like that over at Sam's Club and BJ's because I do the same shit. Then again, I load everything up into cardboard boxes. I always got oodles and oodles of cardboard boxes. But everywhere and anywhere around there, the only way you can get fucking bags is to pay for them. So you have to have grandma bags. I couldn't believe that shit. I didn't think it was real, but it is. I needed a laugh. I needed this laugh, guys. It's been a while since I find myself chuckling. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys who, really, who's watched me go through this and shown your support and everything like that. I owe you guys a good review. I owe you guys something to talk about on the channel besides all this misery and bullshit. My eBay customers, by the way, thank you again for another really good order. This was a good order. This is a triple-digit order, minus fees and taxes and the shipping and all that bullshit. But it's still a good order. I appreciate it, folks. We got the world's best dad shoes that came the other day. These are fucking awesome. This might be a shoe because of what it represents that I may not even wear. I wear all my shoes, but this one I'm not too sure about because Father's Day is around the corner. This shoe is based off of Michael Jordan's very first championship. And Jordan's father died before that happened, and Jordan was famously recorded as collapsing on the ground. The elephant print, this elephant print right here is based on the carpet that he laid down on when he cried after he found out, after his dad died, that they won that championship. Something to that effect. And it's roughly based on the Jordan 11s that he wore, the Concord black 11s. That's what this color base is based on here. That's why it's so bright on the bottom like that. Because technically he wore the 11s at that time, I believe. You guys can fact check me on that one. I'm not much of a basketball historian or anything, but a lot of activity outside today. I think everybody's kind of excited. It's Fridays. Couples holding hands, people riding bikes. Oh shit, is the pool finally open? Or is that that might be who is that? Oh yeah, that's probably the inspector checking the pH of the pool. Yeah, I might save these for Father's Day. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. But I never ever. Oh, that's her again. That just messaged me. Hold on there. Yeah, that's her. So she's checking up on me, making sure I'm behaving. That's cool. Go do a cannonball in the pool and get a laugh. Oh, jeez, man. If I were to do, let's just say, even if I could do a cannonball in this pool, the fucking pool is only 4 feet, I think 4 feet deep, 5 feet deep. Man, I'd smash my skull with the first jump in that pool. That pool is like a glorified bathtub, but it is so relaxing, man. It's like a little slice of heaven. If you guys have been around since the inception of this channel, I've actually done like little things at the pool over there as far as just like live streams and shorts and whatnot. It's a little slice of heaven, and credit where credit is due. They made that pool look so nice. Everything lately, except for there are no NDAs or anything like that. I can still talk about whatever I want to talk about. Nobody can stop me. But I have a professional agreement to kind of like things really have fucking changed. From what I understand, two of the fucking have-nots have been shown their way out. They've been the exit door was pointed to them and they're gone. I haven't seen certain people in quite some time, and I'm going to make the assumption that they went through the motions and they're gone, which is great. Another one I had a big argument with out in the Walmart parking lot for his fucking attitude. And, you know, sometimes it reaches a point where you can't stay silent anymore. So, but yeah, if that's who I think it is, I think that's the county inspector. The pH and everything has to be at a certain parts per million, or the pH has to be a certain this and that. But what's going on? 99 once again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe I almost never get any early releases of anything, and I got these super early. I think by now, I think the legitimate drop date of these dropped. But what's today's topic? Well, I'll give you just a really quick recap. I did get a decent order today of, well, this is actually over the past 24 to 48 hours. It's a really, really nice order. So, but just everything, a conglomeration of, or an amalgamation of just about everything that's been going on. You know, the new girl has been texting me the whole time while I've been here on YouTube live streaming, and we're still seeing where we are. I mean, it's still early yet. It's only 12:30. We'll see what happens with her and I. I'm trying my best not to invest too much into that, because after what I just went through, man, I don't need any more fucking headaches or surprises. You know, lately I've been just kind of step by step, day by day. Now that I've closed the door on this other fucking asshole, and she's gone for good, because now her WhatsApp account all of a sudden vanished from what I saw. You know, and all my neighbors saw it. If you were here yesterday with the live stream that I did, they all saw. I showed it to my good friends over there, and they're like, "What the fuck is that?" But now I don't see the account anymore. I don't see the little boy's avatar. So she's probably fucking running for the hills. Is that the postman? Yes, it is. Should I be lazy and just give? Well, I am expecting more. I got one package coming. Well, it's not a package; it's an envelope. It's oh, Russian dude's on vacation, huh? Yeah, Russian dude's on vacation today. That's the other fella. Yeah, right now I'm trying to take it one step at a time. You know, I did do a nice relist of some eBay stuff. Again, shameless eBay, shameless plug. You know how I do it, folks. I did list some more sports cards over at my eBay store. There's another I think 2 Shohei Ohtanis in one listing. And a bunch of other stuff. The Topps black cards are doing quite well. I didn't think they were doing that good, but they're doing okay. But yeah, once I'm done with this live stream, I'm going to take a nice slow walk. I could drive to the post office. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to listen to music in my car. You know what I mean? Open up the windows and just chug some heavy metal or whatever it is, and just try to get some fresh air in my face until she messages me and decides what she wants to do. I'm leaving the ball in her court. But I definitely owe you guys a review. When that's going to happen, just, again, be patient with me, guys. This has been a complete shit show. It's been a shit show. And there's no shortage of stuff for me to review. I got Big Convoy. You got the Ultra Magnus is still down there. Power Glide. Gears. Tons of shit to review. So, man, I wish that pool was open. Today'd be a great day to go down there. Alexa, what's the current temperature?
Right now, it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, so it's not as hot. It was like 90 degrees for a little bit. It's supposed to be bouncing between 80 and 90, I think, this weekend. So, maybe, you know what? It's just something I'm thinking about right now while I'm talking to you fine folks here in YouTube land. You know, even my neighbors yesterday when I went to go sit there. Oh yeah, they're definitely. Yeah, that's this guy. Yeah, they're definitely probably a little shy on some of the chemicals here and there. So they're definitely getting ready to open that thing. But anyway, they said the same thing to me too. Like, we don't see you walking around anymore. You know what it is now that the car works? I guess given my name and my reputation around here, everybody's used to seeing me walking around with white envelopes and boxes in my hand from my eBay store. And then when I'll call her Mrs. T across the way over there, you know, said, you know, none of us see you anymore. What happened? What happened? What happened? Maybe it's just best for me just to show my face once and, you know, do my usual old school route to Walmart. I mean, I really don't need to buy anything. I did want to get a haircut, man. My hair is getting freaking long again. I hate long hair. I still got that shaky, freaking anxious feeling from that medication I took last night before I went to sleep. I don't like feeling like this at all, man. Maybe it's best I just walk it out of my system and then down a couple bottles of water just to flush myself out. I don't want to feel like that in front of her. So, anyway, I'm running out of things to talk about here, folks. I don't want to hold any of you down. It is Friday. And again, thank you all for your time and your patience and everything like that. This was... it's going to take me a while to get over this one. This one solely rests on my inability. What's going on, Gooey? I'm doing all right, man. I can give you just a quick recap. It's a slow build. I had a really good showing on eBay. I got my orders processed. I want to get them out today. The new girl's been messaging me as I've been doing this live stream. It's a slow go right now. Just kind of like taking things little by little by little. You know, I was talking about the neighbors, how we were talking about this latest shit that happened, and, you know, where I stand right now. And I'm waiting to see what this girl does, depending on what, and again, it's still super early in the afternoon, so I got plenty of time to go do my stuff. I definitely, again, I'll say it again, like, I owe you guys a good review. You know, and one of you had the idea. Who said it first? I want to make sure credit where credit is due. It was Biggie Smalls there that said I should save these to review on Father's Day in and of itself. So that's not a bad idea. And again, I got these early, but now too late, right? Because I've been so bogged down with all this bullshit, folks. You really don't know what it feels like, man. Maybe you do. I can't judge you guys like that. I hate feeling like this. I hate feeling like this. But I got so much stuff for the channel to talk about. I just need to get motivated again, and that's the part that's the most difficult, you know. Because of the business, you know, obviously this is super important to let my customers know, hey man, I'm going through all this shit, but I'm still producing the goods, you know what I mean? That's very important. Especially since I have other people's money, especially since I got people's money in my hand. No, all of you guys, man. Biggie, Gooey, 99, Penny, Pounders usually in here. You know, the usual suspects are always here, which is cool, you know. But one of you had a name change for your particular reasons. I know who you are, so that's fine. But thank you for still being here. I appreciate that. Anyway, guys, I think I need to go touch some grass. Again, thank you, all of you. Let me get these eBay orders out, and then again, it's just going to be a waiting game to see what this girl does, what we're going to do. If not, I'm just going to find a quiet spot and be by myself today and just let that air hit my face. But all of you, God bless you all, everybody. I mean, it means a lot. And it's day by day at this point. Day by day. Just stay tuned, folks. You know me, I'm pretty random with the live streams and the uploads, and pay attention to the community page. You know, usually that's where I'm most active these days, unless I'm doing some random YouTube short and all that stuff. So take care, everybody. I'll see you all very soon. And again, God bless you all. And from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you. I really mean that. Take care.